guys, so you just took an MBTI test, you got your letters back, you got your results, or perhaps you took a test a while ago and you're interested in learning more about this stuff, and perhaps you're starting to get some suspicions that the type you tested as might not be the correct one. This is the first video in a series about do-it-yourself MBTI, where I want to equip you with the tools to use the test and with some extra filters be able to interpret your results and understand why you might be mistyping, and then eventually find your true type. I want you guys to have the option to do it yourself, not to have to pay someone if you don't want to, and dig into yourself, dig into the tools of the MBTI to learn more about who you actually are and what you actually are. So here I have a profile. You or someone tested as an INFJ, okay? These are the results you got, INFJ. And here are a breakdown of the percentages, because this is how most of the MBTI tests work. They have a set of binaries. On this end is extroversion, on this end is introversion. And if you're over the 50% line in one of them, based on how they survey you, you're going to be either an extrovert or an introvert. So this person tested as 85% introverted, 70% intuitive, and so they're probably not sensing, 81% feeling, and then 55% judging or perceiving. So the question is, what do you do with these results? Well, there's a couple questions to ask first. The first one is, are the letters true? Are they correct? And the answer is that the letters are meant to be representative. They are a proxy of what you may be, not necessarily the actual thing. Why is that? Because as some of you will know and some of you will not, the letters are indicating something deeper that is not always and often not talked about in the tests or in the profile that you read afterwards. And that is the functions. Functions and letters are totally different. The functions are the specific and particular tools that each type uses. For example, with these letters, E or I, N or S, if you take each of them separately, they exist as a certain tool called a cognitive function, where intuition, there are two different types of intuition, an internal and external intuition, and introverts can have external intuition, and extroverts can have internal intuition. So if that's new to you, I will link a cognitive function video to begin this process of going deeper than just the letters, because the letters are a proxy. They don't tell the whole truth. And as I say down here, the percentages are kind of a lie. They don't really mean that much. It's just a way for the test to decide which of the aisle you more resonate with. So if you're not familiar with what a cognitive function is, that is the next step to investigate. Because in this profile, this person is actually an INFP, even though they test as an INFJ. Now, what does that mean? It means that with this last slot here, this person who tested an INFJ will test slightly towards the judging section. And then they'll think, well, I'm kind of a betweener. I'm like, some days I'm an INFJ and some days I'm an INFP. Not true, not how it works. And the really important point here, especially if you're newer to this, is that all of the introverts, when you look through what their cognitive functions are, what their tools are, they are technically all mislabeled. They are all mislabeled in this last slot. With the extroverts, it happens to align well. With the introverts, not so much. And this is an insight that I believe sociotics, kind of a Russian MBTI, saw, that, for example, a true INFJ who tests as an INFJ, their top function is actually a perception function. Now, their behavior might be more J-like, they might be a little more organized, or maybe not, but their top tool is a perception tool. It's introverted intuition. It's about exploring my future or the visions and the images in my mind. It doesn't actually, that top tool doesn't make decisions, it sees. Now, a true INFP even though they test as a perception type, as a P type, in reality, their cognitive stack, let's call it, their top tool is a J function, is a judging function. And that means that technically all of these types are mislabeled. Now, I won't go so far as to say that the profiles don't distinguish well, because if you look at an INFJ profile, it will capture some of that dreaminess and some of that vision. But still, the letters themselves can be misleading. I believe it was Dario Nardi, who is a major personality scientist in this field, said that this distinction here, the J and the P, was kind of a shortcut that ended up, I'm putting words in his mouth, but ended up causing a few more issues than was intended. So all of the introverts, like I said, are not labeled correctly. If you look at an ISFJ or an ISTJ, those are J types, and yes, they are usually kind of more organized, but still, their top tool is introverted sensing. That is not a judging or decision-making function. That is a perception function. Likewise, a true INTP will often test as an INTJ. I have several INTPs in my life who consistently test as an INTJ or an INFJ. Why? Because technically, in a way, that's what they are in terms of their function stack is actually more leaning towards decision making. It's just that the letters mislabel them. So the way through that is to familiarize yourself with the actual functions and the tools. Introverted feeling, extroverted intuition, introverted sensing. That is some of the functions of the true INFP. Those are different from the letters. So if you are just starting with an MBTI test or trying to figure out your type, again, I encourage you to do that, especially if you want to do it yourself. You don't need to pay someone. You don't need to do a coaching or a typing session. Those things can be good, but it's more important that you have the option to choose. When you take the test, if you take the test, you would do well not to put too much stock in the initial test result that you get. Because if you get tied up with that and say, yes, that's who I am, especially if you read the profile and a lot of that stuff resonates with you, there is still a good chance that something is missing, that something is mistyped. And it might be that you put in the correct information, but they, just because you were barely over the side of one of these letters, it led you to a different type. So this is very important to be aware of. The functions down here, again, I'll link those above if you're not aware of those, are way more important and way more fundamental than the letters. The letters are a proxy that can be useful, but are not fundamental truth. And lastly, very important point here, your type does not change. Why? Because yes, you might take a test in high school and you take it again 5 or 10 years later and test something different. I've heard people say, I'm an extrovert now, I was an introvert then. Not true. These functions are inborn. They are there long before you take the test. And these are the reality, the inner reality of a personality type, not these percentages. So no, your personality type technically doesn't change, but it can expand. And we'll be talking about that in later videos. So again, this series is going to be committed to giving you the information you need to appropriately interpret your MBTI results. If you are working through some of this typing stuff, I'll be making more videos about how to interpret your results in the near future. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye.